Johnson Suleiman, founder of Omega Fire Ministries, was on his way to a ministerial function in the outskirts of the city. The convoy rode smoothly through the streets, the lead SUV clearing the path with sirens low and steady. Inside his black SUV, Apostle Suleiman sat quietly, dressed in an elegant cream-colored Nigerian senator outfit. His Bible lay beside him on the seat. His eyes were closed, lost in worship, soft prayers murmuring from his lips. He had felt an unusual stirring in his spirit that morning. It wasn't fear, but a sense that something unexpected was about to unfold. As the convoy approached a crowded market junction, one of the security officers at the front suddenly signaled for a stop. "Sir, there's a disturbance ahead," the driver informed him. Curious, Apostle Suleiman opened his eyes and leaned forward. Just a few meters ahead, a man, clearly mentally unstable, stood in the middle of the road. His clothes were torn, his hair wired, eyes fierce with intensity. He held a long stick, waving it as if trying to keep something invisible at bay. "That's Apostle Suleiman," the madman suddenly shouted, pointing at the approaching vehicle. "I know you. You will not go anywhere." The security personnel stepped out, attempting to move the man, but he resisted with a strength that surprised them all. He wasn't violent, but insistent, his gaze locked on the apostle's car, chanting the same words repeatedly. "I know you. You carry fire. You must not pass." A hush fell on the street as bystanders gathered to witness the commotion. Many recognized the apostle's vehicle and murmured in curiosity. Inside the car, Apostle Suleiman felt a surge in his spirit. "Don't move him," he said quietly. He opened the door and stepped out of the SUV, his calm presence causing even the most agitated to pause. The madman's demeanor changed instantly. He dropped the stick, stumbled backward, then suddenly fell to his knees, trembling. "I know you," he whispered again, this time softer, almost reverently. "You are the one who came in my dream. You carry light. You shine too much, I can't see." Apostle Suleiman walked toward him slowly, his heart heavy with divine compassion. The man's eyes filled with tears, but they were not the tears of insanity. Something deeper was battling within him. "Who are you?" the apostle asked gently. "My name? I don't remember. But I used to preach, many years ago. I was a pastor. Then I lost everything. My family, my mind. I've been here for years. But in my dreams, I saw you. You were wearing white and your hands burned with fire." Apostle Suleiman knelt beside the man. He placed a hand on his head. "Lord," he began, "you said the Spirit of the Lord is upon me to heal the brokenhearted and set the captives free. This one was lost, but today he is found." With the authority of heaven, he rebuked every spirit of madness and oppression. The man let out a loud cry, writhing on the ground as though something were tearing out of him. For several minutes, Apostle Suleiman prayed, the onlookers silent, watching in awe. Then, like a wave of calm after a storm, the man stopped shaking. He looked around, confused, and began to cry. "What's happening to me? Why am I here? Where is my wife? My children?" Apostle Suleiman smiled gently and helped him to his feet. "You've been lost for a long time. But today, God remembered you." He turned to his team. "Get him clean clothes. Take him to the church guest house. Feed him, bath him, and let him rest. When he wakes up, bring him to me." The man was ushered into one of the vehicles. Apostle Suleiman turned back to the crowd, many of whom had tears in their eyes. "This is why we are called," he said. "Not just to speak to multitudes, but to stop for one soul. Even if God delays your journey, it is never a detour, it is destiny." The function he was headed to was rescheduled. The apostle spent the rest of the day with his team praying for people who lined up at the scene, touched by the power of what they had just witnessed. 3 days later, the once madman, now groomed, dressed, and glowing with joy, stood before the congregation at Omega Fire Ministries. Apostle Suleiman introduced him as Pastor Daniel, a man who had been called by God but lost his way after a terrible family tragedy and a spiritual attack that cost him his sanity. "I used to have a church in Kaduna," Pastor Daniel testified. "After I lost my family in an accident, I broke. I cursed God. I lost my mind. For 8 years I wandered the streets, forgotten. But God remembered me through his servant." The congregation erupted in praise. Apostle Suleiman didn't stop there. He provided Pastor Daniel with accommodation, counseling, and later sent him to a quiet mission field in Delta State to begin again, this time, not broken, but restored. And that busy street where the encounter happened, it became a popular testimony ground. People began visiting there to pray, calling it the point of remembering. In interviews, Apostle Suleiman was asked why he stopped for the man that day. His answer was simple. Because Jesus would have stopped too. The gospel is not only preached behind a pulpit, it is lived in moments like that. From that day forward, the apostle's story of the madman who knew his name and blocked his car became a living proof that divine appointments often look like interruptions. And for Pastor Daniel, the journey from a deranged street wanderer to a respected minister was nothing short of a miracle. A story that reminded